20 judges,
2 days,
13 categories,
39 cars.
and 15 various tests.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2025 Cars.co.za Awards.
Compact crossover segment has to be the most popular, I think, on the planet. Okay, these are the cars I'm asked about the most. I think it's the price range. It's that sweet spot sort of between 300 and 400,000 Rand. So they have to represent incredible value for money. But they also have to be spacious because you want to be able to get a young family in here. So what do we got? We've got a Toyota Urban Cruiser 1.5 XR. We've got a Kia Sonet 1.5 LX. And then the Suzuki Fronx, which we'll talk about that name later, which is a 1.5 GLX as well. Now, I am so excited to put these to the test back to back because finally I'm going to get a chance to be like, okay, this is great, this is not, this is great. And then at the end of this, I should be able to give you my answer as to who the winner is. So let's get into it. So the Suzuki Fronx has a 1.5 litre four-cylinder engine, same as the Urban Cruiser. Both get 77 kilowatts of power and 138 newton meters of torque. This is mated to a 4-speed auto, and it's got that, it's a tried and tested gearbox. It's just a little bit old now, and 4-speed autos are not always the best. But anyways, it's actually not awful. It's a great thing. In fact, it's not. It's far from awful. Fuel consumption is claimed at 5.5 litres per 100 Ks, which, again, I think you can probably get quite close to. You might be sitting at like 6 or whatever. But this is probably one of my favorite Suzuki models, actually. It's such a fab car. It's such great value for money. And as much as it obviously doesn't feel as maybe premium as, say, the Sonet, which is, you know, quite a bit more expensive than this, it still feels like a car that I think you'd be happy to drive every day, like sort of very fuss-free. It's just the sort of transmission that, like, the auto is maybe not ideal. So it has a gearbox, I've spoken about it before, where, you know, you've got your sort of park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then it's got 2 and low. And so often I put it into 2 and it revs so high. Do you know? Which is the pits. So you've got to always just check that you're in drive. Ooh, very solid. Nothing rattling except for my camera gear. That's great. The dash is like not even making a sound. Okay, but now I'm going to go on to that like one. That is the professional and official term, obviously. Here we go. This dash is not going anywhere. Wow. Yeah, that's really impressive, actually. It's like quality built, right? Thank you for changing gear. Oh. Same kilowatts, same gearbox, same everything. But listen, am I in 2? I'm in 2 again! I'm just proving my point over and over again. I have to keep looking. Now I'm in drive. Okay. 1.5 litre, full cylinder, 77 kilowatts, 138 newton meters. Guys, what a pain. Is this just the setup of this gearbox, not the inner workings of it, the outside workings of it. The steering is a little bit vague. It's got like this spot in the middle, this dead spot you wiggle and it doesn't do anything. That's a bit of a pain. Yeah, I would like the steering wheel to be a little bit more sort of direct, a little bit more weighted. But I think I'm nitpicking, to be honest, because it's still a great little car to drive. Also, solid. Do you know what I find fascinating? So often you can be in a budget buy and it all feels very solid and well put together. And then you can get into a premium car and do the same test and everything moves and rattles and kind of doesn't feel so well put together. See, this is why these are good value for money. That's just the booklet there, but nothing is moving on this dashboard, like nothing. I am moving, but it's all completely, compactly, solidly put together. It's sort of really confidence inspiring, if you will. Like, you want to feel stable even when you are in something like a budget crossover. Of course, you want to feel safe and sturdy. And I think that both this and the Fronx offer that. Oh, I'm now at my favorite, which is the Kia Sonet, mainly because I already know how this drives and I know it's a lovely drive. This has got 1.5 litre four-cylinder, same as the other guys, all 77 kilowatts, whereas those have 138, this has 144, so a smidge more on the Newton meters. It's also got a CVT and not a 4-speed auto, and you can feel that difference. So it's got that CVT drone, but the gear changes are quicker, so you don't have that for longer. It's very smooth power delivery. So I just find this to be the superior drivetrain, right? And powertrain and everything to do with the performance side of things. And that's like super important. And I realize it's probably not the number one thing on someone's list when they're looking for a family car, because you're looking for safety and you're looking for space and practicality and all those things. But as a parent, you spend a lot of time in the car if you're carting kids around. And so it is important that you're happy and comfortable driving the car every single day. And I would be happy and comfortable driving this every single day. So fuel consumption I mentioned on the Fronx is like claimed at 5.5. This and the Urban Cruiser are sort of like 6.2 and 6.1 respectively, which again is still quite good. And I think you can always keep it quite low depending on your driving. Like, you can really make quite a difference to the fuel consumption. And that is important in this segment, of course. But I think that with either one you're going to go with, you're going to be quite okay with the fuel consumption, actually. Okay, so now we're on the brr thing. Go. Can you tell by my face I'm a little bit shocked? Maybe I have to do this again before I give my opinion here. Hang on a second. Okay. So, my camera equipment's making a bit of noise, but the first sort of suspension test there, this was better than the other two. It felt more, it kind of glided over that a little bit better. But on the other one, where the other two, I said like the build quality and everything is great, and I've said that about this sort of jiggled a little bit more than I would have liked it to, I guess. But still not bad. Again, I'm nitpicking, guys. That's what I'm here for. Okay. Gotta be balanced, you know. What I like about the Sonet is the steering's very sort of weighted. There isn't that dead vibe that I spoke about in the Urban Cruiser. I think what it comes down to is the fact that this doesn't feel like a budget car. It doesn't feel or drive like a budget crossover. The other two, as much as they are actually great, and you know, certainly I don't want to say feel budgety, right? They don't feel cheap by any means. But you are aware of the fact that you're in a car that is a budget crossover, basically. Whereas with the Sonet, I don't get that. I feel like it's a car in a segment above, actually. So the Fronx interior, I'm a little bit torn because of the colouring in here. I hate maroon and there seems to be a lot of different plastics going on in this door and a lot going on the dashboard. But some people might like that and not be bothered at all by it. It's got this 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system, which is easy to use, you know, it's sort of intuitive enough, etc. It's got climate control. This one's got a little wireless charger down here. And it's got a 360-degree camera, which is actually very cool when you turn the car on. It does this whole little weird, fun little thing that shows the car and going around it. But gimmicky, but I actually think it makes it feel ever so slightly more premium. So of course it is the cheapest of the three, and you can maybe feel it, but it's okay. I mean, you've even got a little head-up display here. It's got everything you need. I don't actually think that there are many more features that you need. You've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've got all the convenience features. What actually more do you need? So I'm quite impressed with this cabin. Like I say, it doesn't maybe match the rivals, but that's what we're here for, to compare them. The Sonet is priced at just under 392,000 Rand. And for me, this is an easy one. It is my favorite cabin among the three by far. I love that it's got cloth and partial sort of leather here. It looks really sophisticated. It's got an 8-inch touchscreen, which is 1 inch less than the others, which I don't think is such a big deal. Again, I think I said this in my other review. Do we mind losing 1 inch? I don't mind. So it's also very intuitive, very easy to use system. The only thing it doesn't have as well, which the others have, they've got climate control, this doesn't. Overall, I just find it to be a more premium feeling cabin than the others. I feel like when you're in here, you could almost maybe be in a Seltos, even a Sportage, I could say. Not really. But I do like that it feels like you're just in a segment above even. And that sort of should deserve some praise. Okay, the Urban Cruiser comes in at 359,700 Rand. So a little bit above the Fronx and a little bit below the Sonet. I find this interior to be almost similar to the Fronx. It does feel like you're a little bit more premium, if you will, but again, it's with these different materials all layered on top of each other in different colors, and I find it not great. It's got this chrome thing here, which I know is meant to elevate it. For me, it maybe cheapens it a little bit. Also got climate control. This screen just feels very small. It's like sort of in a big thing, but the screen itself is small, like a big frame. I'm not so sure about it. I also am not a big fan of the like sort of user friendliness of this infotainment system, but once you get used to it and familiar with it, I think you'll be absolutely fine. So overall, I think it's a great cabin. I just think that the Sonet takes it to another level, and so you might feel like that if you get into the three. But now let's get into the back and talk about space. Because where's the Sonet going to be in that? It's hard to say. Well, not really, because I'll find out now. As you can tell, I'm sitting quite upright here. It's not uncomfortable, especially over 40 when you've got a bad back, but it is quite upright. But they're still quite comfortable, and they've got these little diamond things on them. Legroom, not terrible. I'm sitting behind myself. You know, I can't do a leg over a thing, you know, that test, but again, we're in a compact crossover, people. The other thing, I find this seatbelt thing right at the top there very convenient, because at least it's not a lap belt, but I just find it like very old school, but it's fine. Just maybe one of my own weird sort of things about whatever. But what I can tell you is the ISOFIX here are quite low. And if I had a baby seat, I would like to see how easy or difficult it would be to clip them in. That's why I always say, if you have a baby seat and you're going to buy a new car, take it with you, because you want to know how easy it is to put it in. What I found? I was totally talking about something else, but I got sidetracked by here. Check it out, little cup holders and a little armrest. That's quite nice. These ones are quite deep, but not very wide. I find that with a lot of the rear things, and especially now when everyone's walking around with water bottles this big. Let me get out. I want to see how these seats fold down. Okay. Okay. So nice and flat and flush, kind of, with the boot, which everybody loves for whatever reason. And also I like that these are quite light to push back. They're very easy to maneuver, actually. But let's get into the Sonet and see what's happening there. Okay, so these are not as upright and a little bit more comfortable than the Urban Cruiser. And again, I really like this material. No cup holders here to surprise me with, which is a bummer. And actually, these cup holders in the doors are not very deep. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of spillage in there. The other thing that is a disappointment, and come on Kia, is again with a lap belt and not like a good old across the chest tool here. So that's a bummer. But let's see how these seats are when I put them down. Oh, okay, it's one of these little pulley uppy things. Oh, not my best. Oh, damn it. Come on, Sonet. But very easy to put down. Also, big step down, so not at all flush, but just like this deeper boot here. So these thingies, you'll see them, they're the bummer, but once it's back, do I just keep doing that? Oh, it worked. It worked. I just had to give it a bit more of a push. So I would say the Toyota maybe wins a little bit with sort of user friendliness when it comes to the back seats, but these still at least fold 60-40, which is what we need. Let's get, oh my gosh, let's get into the Fronx. So these seats are probably the least comfortable of the lot, although they're at least not as upright as the Toyota Urban Cruiser. And I just can't actually cope with this maroon, but maybe that's just, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder and you might love it, but I just think it dates it. I think it makes it look very old. Definitely the most legroom so far. I can even do like a little swingy foot thing here. That's pretty amazing. No cup holders here either, but you know, I don't think that's a thing. These cup holders are also quite deep. They're pretty similar to the Urban Cruiser. The most unfortunate thing about this back seat is the lack of headroom. All the others, I could put my hand up. This is, and I'm not tall, guys, so this is like really quite low. So I think any adult in the back here will maybe suffer from that. But let's see what it's like to fill these seats down. I like doing this for the first time with you guys, so that it doesn't look like I'm prepared. Oops. Okay. Also a big step down like the Sonet has, but at least very easy to maneuver and click in. Much more user-friendly than the Sonet. But let's go check out the boot. As you can tell, I've got my trusty pram and cooler box, basically family, you know, paraphernalia. You can see by looking at these, right, that is the smallest boot. It's at 304 liters. But would you believe that is not actually the biggest boot? That's got 354 liters. This is the biggest boot at 385 liters. Doesn't look it, but that's why you've got this here, guys, for testing. Okay, the wheel alignment of this pram is not great, but here we are. Okay, cooler box in. I can tell you already that this pram is good. Yeah, okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Oh, easy peasy, okay? But let's see. I'm gonna put them in the same way, just to be fair. Okay. Oh, guys. You see? Oh, okay. Still quite easy, actually. Let's see the Fronx, though. And again, for fairness, let me put that one in first. Oh, guys, this is such hard work. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, they're family cars, right? They all work. I think you're fine. You're good. Either one you go for. Okay, guys, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. The Kia Sonet is the clear winner. It's just unbeatable. I know it's the most expensive, but it deserves to be the winner because it feels so good. It is such good quality. But these two are still flippin' excellent, right? This Fronx offers so much value for money. So if the Sonet wasn't here, I'd say that would be the clear winner. But you're gonna have to wait until the end of February 2025 to find out who the judges and South Africa voted to be the winner. I'm excited about that. I won't cry if it's the Fronx, but I'll be so thrilled if it's the Sonet.
What's the car with Cars.co.za? This is Karen. Her name's not really Karen. You just know the hood on her car is really well used. Beep. Now think of a car. Any car. Yes, we have it. Cars.co.za. Let's find what moves you.